thinking about instruction and what kinds of instructional techniques or pedagogical choices work, we have found that many faculty like to think about and share what they're doing with learning logs and journals. Learning logs have been really coming back into the classroom experience, but not just as a tool to document what I've learned as a learner, or not just to document even my learning strategies, but as a technique to help students develop the skill set for self-navigation. We want children to be professional learners. We want children to be comfortable in their learning, to make choices about their learning, because we recognize in the information age, the jobs we're preparing children for, we don't even know what they are. But one thing we can say is they're going to change and evolve and grow over time. So we need children to be professional learners as they go out into the field. Learning logs have now transformed themselves into this tool to help children self-navigate their learning. Not so independently like an independent study, but one where a teacher can coach, model, and facilitate that process in a way that doesn't do it for the student so much as facilitate the child's ability to demonstrate thinking about their own learning. Metacognition. Learning logs can be anything from a graphic organizer with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But it's what we put into the graphic organizer that can be so helpful. They could be documenting what they're doing with their do-nows. They could be planning out the steps they're going to take to make sure they make that paragraph or that essay or that project actually be ready by the due date. Journals in the classroom have been used time and again, but there's been a return to the use of journals to focus on getting evidence of critical thinking, reflection, and evidence of the big why parts of unit plans. What does this look like in classrooms? Teachers have been using the math journals in classrooms to document the deep thinking aspects of the standards. The fluency pieces are easier to do on things like quizzes and tests, where children solve problems for us and demonstrate their ability to solve them fluently, quickly. But the deep understanding can be a little more difficult. Using the Think Alouds, math talks, math stories are all ways to have students show you that they can describe or they can explain an idea. But how do we document that? The math journal has been an answer to that in many cases. We've been using the math journal to show those performance tasks where they have to describe and explain their thinking. We've also seen the math journal evolve as a place to return to the essential questions and have students answer an essential question, return to answering an essential question several times, maybe from multiple lenses from their mathematical practices. Something to consider with the journal in all classrooms, their literacy classrooms, media classrooms, phys ed classrooms, or the visual and performing arts, for example. You can come back to that essential question and take a moment to pull the details from any given lesson and attach it to a well-crafted answer or even a partially crafted answer to that rich question. These thinking journals have also been used as interactive journals. So consider having students document their thoughts, maybe on the left side of the page, and then having you have the opportunity to respond or give feedback or even give additional examples or encouragement on the other side of the journal. This kind of interactive journal experience allows you to have an ongoing discourse, conversation that's documented for both you to revisit and for the student to reflect on. The combination of learning logs and journals in classrooms allows learners and teachers to co-create the instructional experience, reflect on it often, and document what we used to call the intangible parts of the curriculum in an incredibly tangible way. This, whether it's graded or not, is incredibly important and useful as evidence of the curriculum and learning experience.